If you use LinkedIn for lead generation, you know the struggle. Warnings, restrictions, account limitations, they hit when you least expect them. But what if you could avoid all of them? That's exactly what we're talking about today with Nick from Linkunity. Nick helps people source accounts and manage them safely on LinkedIn. Nick, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you too.
But before we dive into the details, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your experience with LinkedIn lead generation, and what you do at Linkunity?
So my name is Nick, and I've been doing marketing of different types for all my life. Last years, I've been running an agency, LinkedIn lead generation agency. We have done more than 150 projects, so small, big ones. And during this, we always were in need of profiles. And it was very difficult to create warm-up profiles for ourselves. But at some point, we have found out a solution. And right now we know how to work with the profiles. And then I have seen the option and market of ranking LinkedIn profiles because I have seen our current competitor. And I have seen pricing, how it works, and so on. So we decided to switch to rental model. And right now we don't run agency, we don't do any projects. We only rent out verified profiles so our clients can scale their campaigns safely.
Okay, yeah, that's impressive. So you both, know how to manage those accounts, how to manage them safely, what accounts are in need for lead generation. That's exactly what is relevant for us today. So thank you again for having you here. Let's break it down. And let's talk about, firstly, restrictions. Yeah, what are they? Why do they exist? What's LinkedIn's position about them? LinkedIn restrictions are becoming a real challenge for many users, especially those in lead gen. So let's break down the details. Can you, tell us about the most common restrictions?
First of all, I need to say that it affects not only lead gen guys, but also regular users, because if you will go to Trustpilot page, LinkedIn, and found LinkedIn page on it, so you will see that almost every review is one-star review. People complain that they lost their profile forever for doing nothing. So this is a common thing, not only for lead gen guys. And the second thing I want to say is that restrictions happens because LinkedIn has its own aims and own policy, and LinkedIn will always act in order to achieve its aims and aims of the community. So this is the reason why we have those restrictions.
Okay, yeah. So they're evolving and they can be a real problem not only for those who scale their outreach, but regular users. I see. Okay. The most, then it's for sure important to talk about this. It will come in handy to anyone who manage their LinkedIn accounts. Okay. So what are the most common reasons for accounts being restricted?
Actually, there are a lot of different things which affect restrictions, but they have one thing in common. This is actions which are not aligned with LinkedIn goals and aims. So if you do something which is against LinkedIn aims, you will be restricted. LinkedIn is really about safety, trustworthy platform. So if you do something which are not aligned with it, you will be restricted. And right now, we don't talk about how to avoid restrictions at all, because right now, almost any profile can receive a restriction. Some profiles can receive restrictions on monthly basis. Right now, we are talking and try to understand how to receive it less and how to recover it as fast as possible with the highest success rate as possible.
Okay, you mentioned that if you don't follow the rules of LinkedIn's policy, you'll get the restriction. Can you name some examples? What can I do that will trigger LinkedIn?
The most common thing is when you change your job experience, because we rent out profiles and our clients always want, to have a particular profile with particular job experience, and they try to delete everything and then set up almost a new history of the person. And of course, it leads to a restriction, because if you have one history of your employment and then you delete everything and set up a new history, it means that first or second one is fake. And fake is against LinkedIn rules, so that's why you will be restricted. So we have a rule where you are not allowed to delete your past. You're always allowed to build your future. So this is, for example, one thing which can lead to restriction, but you can use this rule almost to anything. So you need to use your real full name. You need to use your real photo, because if you use something fake, LinkedIn will restrict you. And because of this fake information, you will not be able to recover the profile.
Okay. I see that what you're talking about is the fact that LinkedIn is against fake identity, creating fake accounts. So changing anything in your account can lead to warning, maybe not warning, but can draw attention to your account at least, and they can be more precise when tracking your account activity. Because the first thing that came to my mind, I thought about maybe spamming and automation. But first thing that you mentioned is changing some information in the account.
I said because it's most common, because not all users use it for outreach or spam, but all users have job experience, right? But of course, using automation, sending links, and doing anything else which is against LinkedIn rules, of course, it increases your chances to be restricted. But of course, you can avoid it because of warmed up process and other things, but still, yeah.
Okay, I see. So there are ways to avoid, or at least make LinkedIn not suspicious about your account. So let's talk about that now, I think. Yeah. So what's the best way to make a profile look natural? So if I create an account, or it's my old account, but I wasn't very active on LinkedIn before, maybe it's pretty empty, I don't have very many connections there. So what's the best way to make it look natural, legitimate one, yeah? Are there any must-have profile sections that I must fill in?
Actually, there are only one rule. You need to do and set your profile with all real information. Your real name, as it is in passport, family name also. So a real photo, don't try to improve it with AI because LinkedIn also see it. So try to use as much real information as you can. Of course, sometimes you need to change something, for example, country or something else. If you do it, try to follow the rule with one change per one day. So if you need to change something, don't try to change it once. So change name, change geography, change job experience in one day. Change job title in one day, on the next day, change about section, and so on. If you need to change your photos, so do it next day. So this will help you to avoid the restrictions.
I see. So this is a strategy. So it seems not like I'm changing the whole identity in one day, yeah? If I change everything in my profile.
Because real people don't do it at one day. At one day you can change your job. On the second day you maybe want to post something. On the third day maybe you want to improve about it. Because usually people don't change their life in total in one day. So that's why you need to split. If you can do it not every day, if you can have posts, it's even better. But usually our clients, for example, they're always in a hurry. So one change per one day is the best solution that we have.
Okay, so no frequent updates and one update per day. Yeah, one section, I'd say. Okay, you mentioned location, and I know that changing it too often can also raise flags. But on the other hand, it can be a common situation, yeah? I moved to a different country, so now I'm looking for opportunities there. That's why I need to change my location to have new connections. How does LinkedIn track your changes?
You mentioned that LinkedIn allows you to change location, and this is not very strict rule. You don't need to stay with your country for all your life. But if you have a new profile, it's a bit risky because companies and people try to create, I don't know exact amount, but it's thousands of profiles every day, fake profiles every day. And LinkedIn right now in a stage, I guess, when they don't need a lot of new profiles. They already have 1 billion users and they try to monetize it as much as possible. So they are very strict with the new profiles. So when we talk about rules, some rules can have a different applicability to all the new profile. And geography is a great example of it. So if you have an old profile, you can change country and in 99% it will be totally okay. But if you have a new profile, You verify it on the document from one country, you do it from one country IP, and on the second day, you change the geography to another part of the world. Of course, it's risky and LinkedIn will see it. And especially if your current location, because LinkedIn see your IP address, does not the same country or even city with the country you mentioned. It's also a risk factor for LinkedIn and the reason why LinkedIn can restrict you.
Okay. So as I understand, changing location of an old account is not a red flag for LinkedIn, but if it's a new account, you have to be careful here.
Yes. At least use different IPs, use the IP for the country you want to change, so it will look like you really moved to this country, something like this.
I see. Okay, you mentioned so that my IP corresponds. In this case, I can use Proxy, and many of our clients use Proxy for managing accounts. So is it a must when accessing LinkedIn account, maybe especially when you manage multiple LinkedIn accounts? Or I'd say if you want to target profiles from a different country, your target pool audience is in different place, and you want the same IP, but you are located in different. Can you elaborate on this? What's your strategy?
If you have only one profile, maybe Proxy is not for you. Maybe it's better to use your regular internet connection via mobile network or Wi-Fi if you can access LinkedIn directly. If you need to use VPN, then yes, you need to use Proxy, not VPN, because VPN can offer you to use different countries every time you connect because it's faster connection, use another country. Of course, it's risk. But if you can connect LinkedIn directly, connect directly. But if you have multiple profiles, Proxies is the only way for you to stay safe because LinkedIn see your IP address, and we will talk about anti-detect browser a bit later, I guess. It's also understands not only IP, but other details about your browser, machine, and so on. You need to use one unique IP per one profile. And that's why you can stay safe on LinkedIn. There are different types of proxies you can buy. Usually, it's common opinion that you need to buy residential proxies where you pay per traffic. But we don't see any difference with the regular IPv4 proxies where you pay per month per proxy. But if you want to be very stable proxies and to be extremely safe, but still it doesn't save you from restrictions at all. Maybe you lower chances. You can use residential. If you want to pay less, use IPv4 proxies, and we use it and it works okay.
Yeah, I see. So VPN is better be avoided because the location can change. In this case, again, you'll end up in the same situation. Proxy is your choice. Yeah, if you manage multiple accounts or if you manage someone else's account or if you want to connect with people who are located in different place. Yeah. But if I manage my own account, I don't need it at all. Yeah, I can connect using my just public network. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, okay, that's good. You mentioned anti-detect browser and its crucial role in managing a LinkedIn account. You mentioned that LinkedIn doesn't only track IP address, but also browser, maybe some fingerprints there. So could you elaborate on this specifically? What exactly is anti-detect browser and how does it enhance the safety of my account?
Sure. Actually, LinkedIn, as almost any website, can understand not only your IP, but another information also. If you want to see what exact information every website can see about you, you can just Google my IP address and go to this website, and there are tons of those websites. And those websites will not see only your IP address, but also will give you information about city, browser, and particular version of browser you use. It can be Mozilla, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer. So they know more than just your IP address. And if you use only proxy, it will not save you because LinkedIn will see that there are tons of different profiles, but with the exact same information. And in order to avoid it, we use anti-detect browsers because anti-detect browsers create unique fingerprint. So all details will be unique per each profile. So in this way, it's harder for LinkedIn to understand that you use one laptop, one internet connection. For LinkedIn, it will be different machines, different laptops, PCs, and different IP addresses. All will be different. So that's why it's easy to use. And also it's make usage of LinkedIn profiles much easier because you can use 10 tabs at once, see all messages, and also it help you to avoid if you have a team work from the same profile, it will help you to avoid two sessions at one time from different PCs, because in anti-data browser, if you open profile, no one in your team can open it, because if you will do different actions on the different laptops at the same time, LinkedIn will see that, okay, you're right now on 2 pages and click different buttons on 2 pages. Regular people don't do it. So it's also red flag for LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. Will it work the same way if I have a unique Chrome account for each LinkedIn account that I manage? So one Chrome account is for Julia, let's say, another LinkedIn account is for Nick, and so on and so on. Will it work the same way?
I'm not sure, because Chrome account is not the only thing they see, because they will see that your version of browser is the same. So because Google Chrome, I guess, have a lot of versions, not everyone updated, so you will have particular version and LinkedIn will see. This is what we think about. So there are not particular rules. It's difficult to say 100 right or 100 false. Everyone in this market has different opinions. And in my opinion and our company opinion, it's not enough. We would prefer to use anti-data browser.
Yeah, LinkedIn doesn't spill how they track activity and what is the algorithm for warning or restricting accounts. I see. Yeah, so it's best to be super cautious here, and then you can be sure that your accounts will stay safe.
If you even try to be super safe, it will not save you from the restrictions. So you can do everything, but still you have those restrictions, you will need to work with it and so on, especially if you have many profiles. So it's better to be as much safe as possible.
Okay, so I can still end up with a restriction, but I'd better be prepared to recover my account in this case, I think.
Yes. So that's why you need to use only real profiles.
Okay, yeah, I see. Well, so I filled in the information into my profile. I use a proxy anti-detect browser, so I followed these rules. Now I need to start working. I need to start my outreach. So what is the best warm-up strategy? Do I need to start with maybe posting some information or engaging with other people's posts firstly? Or can I start inviting right away? What's your opinion on this?
When you have a zero connection profile, you need to understand that you are in a very risky game. And LinkedIn tracks you, I guess 99% of resources LinkedIn allocate to tracking zero connection profile. And your main aim right now is to gain first trust. You can do it via connections. Actually, we don't very fancy about posts, nice texts and so on. We just make profile look nice, follow all LinkedIn recommendations regarding what you need to fill in. With the real information, it's better to avoid GPT text, because LinkedIn can easily understand GPT, because another AI tool who can track the AI. But after that, you need to gain your first connection. And the first stage we try to achieve is 30 connections. Second one is 100. After 100, you can be more risky regarding your actions. And the first stage, 30 connections, is the most difficult one, but because you can easily understand temporary restriction, where you cannot use your profile at all, or we call it like shadow ban. When you have your profile, you can log in, but nobody will see your profile, and if you will connect, nobody will see your connect. So it is maybe even worse, because you don't understand what happened. It takes more time to get rid of shadow ban. So you need to connect with people who have a higher chances to connect you back. There are two options. If you have friends on LinkedIn, just add your friends or colleagues or someone who know you in real life. So your connection rate will be 50+%. If you don't have so many friends, or if you have a lot of profiles and you cannot add your friends from 100 LinkedIn profiles, right? So you need to know to add people you don't know at all. And the best way to do it is, first of all, your profile needs to look professional, trustworthy, real profile, because no one wants to add the bot profile. And secondly, try to use recommendation section. LinkedIn will offer you on a connection page, they will offer you people you can connect, usually based on company, city, some interests. So they have something in common with you. And we see that the regular connection rate for this section, about 30 up to 50%, I guess. So it's enough for LinkedIn to understand that you are a nice guy. So people want to add you back because the market average is 15%. If you do 30, LinkedIn thinks that you do good. So continue to use your profile.
Okay. So the first screening is passed this way, yeah? First LinkedIn screening. Okay, so it's best to start with connecting with people who you know, yeah, so that they accept your connection request and you have the higher acceptance rate. Yeah, I see. So it's like I sent 30 invitation requests, 30 of them are accepted, ideally. Yeah, so this way LinkedIn can see, okay, people want to connect with me. That's the logic. Okay, so once I hit this 100 profiles, yeah, this number 100 connections, what's my next step? How can I increase my activity? How risky can I be here?
Actually, when you have 100, you can do almost whatever you want in terms of using your LinkedIn profiles, just to follow all rules we have talked before about changes and so on. And the maximum number of connections we recommend is 25. Better to do 20, but 25 is the maximum. So it will allow you.
You mean per day, yeah?
Yes, 25 connections per day. First of all, it will be enough for you to use limits. LinkedIn have weekly limits, and it will look pretty stable for LinkedIn that you add 25, 20 people per day.
Okay, yeah. Also taking into account that the weekly invitation limit is like 100, 200 connection requests. This way I can spread my activity throughout the week. So it seems natural, I'd say. Yeah, because I know that sending 100 connection requests is in one day can most likely draw LinkedIn attention to my account. Yeah, so it's best to keep it lower. Okay, what about messages? Do I need to make longer pauses between each message that I send? Or maybe I should mix it with some other activity like visiting profile pages, liking their posts. What's your take on that?
There are almost the same rules as with connecting. First of all, you need to act as a human. If you automate, you need to pretend to be a human. And secondly, you need to have high reply rate. Because in this way, LinkedIn will see, okay, you're a nice guy, you're good for your community, people interact with you, nice. In order to do it, when you send a connection, you can send a connection message, or you can send a connection, then send the first message after. First of all, avoid links, because this is a red flag, I guess, from 2019 of LinkedIn outreach. So don't use links, because if you send 25 same links to Calendly, this is strange. So LinkedIn will understand that you do something. And secondly, try to send your message with the easy to answer question, so to receive a high reply rate. And then you can continue your conversation, sending links, offer to book a meeting or to do something else you need. So 2 rules: try to look as human as possible, and try to receive as high reply rate as possible.
Non-salesy messages, non-spammy messages to start with. Once you build a rapport with a person, yeah, you can offer them a meeting, send them a link in this case, but like not sending to everyone this kind of messages, I think. Okay, I've heard some mixed opinions on whether having a LinkedIn Premium Sales Navigator can help reduce the risk of restrictions or not. So what's your opinion on this?
Yeah, nice question, because some people think that, okay, I will activate LinkedIn trial, will use my credit card, and I will be more trustworthy person for LinkedIn because I have a card, they build $1, and this is okay. But in fact, we see that using free trial is very risky thing, because this is what scraping company usually do. They connect Sales Navigator, scrape data from Sales Navigator, and so on. So that's why LinkedIn is very strict about free trial. Of course, you can try to do it if it's your personal profile, it is okay. But if you create new profiles, try to warm them up. It's better to avoid using free trial. And if you need Sales Navigator or any other types of premium subscriptions LinkedIn offers, you can use different vendors who offer called like enterprise solutions. So they provide you link to activate Sales Navigator or other subscription for your profile. It's even cost less. It's about $40-45 per profile, while regular LinkedIn costs 100-120 based on the country and about.
Yeah. I know that the Sales Navigator subscription is starting from almost $100 per month. Talking about like 49, you said, yeah? So
no, 40 up to 45. There are different prices on the market, and there are a lot of different vendors. You just need to find trustworthy one, because there are also a lot of scammers around this stuff. but still there are enough trustworthy vendors. And this is legal, and this is even more safe for LinkedIn, because when you activate that type of subscription, you already paid user, so you already paid real money to LinkedIn, not free trial. So it's pretty safe option, and this is what we offer to all our customers who want to use our profiles with different premium subscriptions.
If I still want my own Sales Navigator subscription, not an enterprise one, it's okay to activate it if it's an old account, you say. If it's a new one, having trial period, even though I should provide my credit card credentials firstly, even though they can still, check your account, check for... because I think maybe it's like they think that I make use of this free trial and then not continue my subscription here, and that's why they check.
The thing is not that you will not continue. It's okay that you will not continue. That's why you use free trial. The thing is that people who want to scrape data from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, they just create a lot of profiles, use hundreds of free trials, scrape a lot of data at one time. And LinkedIn is a fact received 0, but people received a lot of data. So that's why LinkedIn is very strict about it.
Yeah, I see. So you're talking about that LinkedIn knows that those who use Sales Navigator, they are into scraping data. Yeah, that's why they're cautious when you activate free trial. Okay, that's an interesting insight, because I also thought that having premium subscription can give me like a safe pass here, but it's not always the truth. In this case. Well, I see. Okay, thank you. So let's talk about now scaling, I'd say. You mentioned today managing multiple accounts. Let's talk about a bit more. So how can businesses safely scale their outreach while staying within LinkedIn's limits? I guess pretty the same that you mentioned already about IP, the anti-detect browser, real on LinkedIn, follow their rules, but are there any more details to this?
Actually, there are two general ways how to scale your outreach in terms of results. First one is quality way. Of course, you can increase connection rate, reply rate, meeting scheduling rate, and so on. So you can receive more different types of results from the same amount of accounts, or even from your one account. But you always have limits if you use it this way, because even if you will receive 100 connection rate, 100 reply rate, message rate, LinkedIn will limit you with the numbers of connection you can send. So you are limited, in fact. Not talking about that 100, it's not possible. Second option is quantity way. You can increase quantity of connections, which is done via quantity of profiles you use. So you need to attract as much profiles as possible and to send as much connections as possible. And there are three ways how you can get those LinkedIn profiles. First way we offer or mention is to use your colleagues. This is the easiest way. If you have 10 salesperson in your company, this is already 10 profiles from people who keen to give you their LinkedIn profiles, not to receive more leads and make more sales and so on. But usually company is limited in numbers of employees, especially of employees who are ready to provide your profile, because, for example, salespeople are more keen to do it, but it will be more difficult to negotiate it with your lawyer to provide your profile in order to outreach your customers. The second option is friends. Of course, you can ask your friends to help you. And this is what we see. Usually our clients have a few profiles from their friends, but this way is also very limited, because you always have a limited number of friends, especially those who can give you a profile. And also there are not nice situation may happen when profile will be banned forever and the person will be without the profile. Of course, you can say that, hey, you can create a new profile, gather your thousands of connections again, but sorry, you will have troubles with finding next job and so on. So it's also a situation better to avoid, because chances are pretty high when you do LinkedIn outreach that some of your profiles will be restricted forever. And the third option is what we do. We rent out LinkedIn profiles. So we have customers who rent those profiles and use it in their aims. They pay monthly for each profile and they can do whatever they want according to our general rules. And there are different companies, not many of them, 5 or 6 active companies right now. Actually, everyone offers different services, different pricing models, different types of customer service, because market is very small, right? So that's why everyone do whatever they want. And we focus on verified profiles. So we are able to recover the profiles if they will be restricted. This is, I guess, the most important thing right now, that you are able to recover the profiles. So that's why you don't lose all your efforts, all your leads, and so on. So you can always continue again and again. Secondly, right now we work only with warmed up profiles. Before March, so last month, we changed strategy. Before that, we were working with new profiles and we're warming them up. But right now we source only old profiles, 1 up to 10 years old, 100 up to 5,000 plus connections. So we focus only on old profiles, so they are more stable. So this is two main things we focus on right now with our profiles.
Okay, so these are old profiles that were created a long time ago, but were, let's say, abandoned, and now you can make use of them.
Yeah, kind of. We source people who are ready to rent out profiles to us, so we pay them money, also on a monthly basis, so they make money of their profile, which they may not need, right? And we rent out those profiles to people who need those profiles. So this is how this model works, actually. So people are happy to make money with us, and our clients are happy to scale their outreach with us.
Are you saying that old accounts are out of LinkedIn's radar this case? So they focus only on new accounts or not?
So not really. I said 99%. Still, LinkedIn can restrict profiles anyway. So we need to have a second chance to recover it. So that's why it's very important to find a particular person with a particular profile. Person need to show, and this person can verify the profile, show the document, or receive verification page. So we check it always, so we can recover this profile again and again. And if you go to Trustpilot and we'll go through reviews, you can see that there are people who lost their profiles, 10 years old history, 10,000 plus connections, and they were not into outreach. They may comment something or may post, for example, a job offer or something else, which can lead to restriction. And because of the different bags, poor customer service on LinkedIn side, they are not able to recover it at all. So they lost.
Yeah, I see. Okay, but in this case, you can still be restricted, but not for the mere fact that it's just a new account, yeah, like with freshly created accounts. For something else, maybe, yeah, you can still be restricted.
We see right now that the restriction rate is at least twice lower than with our previous profiles, so they twice much stable right now. So it allows our customers not to stop their outreach, first of all. Secondly, it allows them to be more, risky with those profiles, not waiting too long for the warm up, because they already warmed up, right?
Yeah.
So you can start 25 connections from day one.
Okay, yeah. So you can get use of the account faster this way also. Okay, so you mentioned there are three ways to source additional accounts: colleagues, friends, or agencies. Yeah. Colleagues and friends seem to be not a stable option, or if you don't want to be in a debt of the person whose account you are taking, maybe it's best to come to some agencies, but still it's a good idea to source for old accounts, not freshly created new accounts. Well, if you manage multiple accounts, if it's an agency, they source these accounts, they can think of putting the outreach on autopilot. I think your clients also rent accounts for using them via automation. And do you have any recommendations for your users on what tool to use, or what users should look for in a tool to avoid risks?
I guess 90% of our clients actually use different types of automation tools, because this is the only a way to manage multiple LinkedIn profiles at one time. And of course, there are a lot of tools, I guess 100 plus right now, who do different types of LinkedIn outreach automation. And we always recommend our clients to try to understand, is it safe enough or not, based on I don't know how to say it, but because LinkedIn changes like every day, every month, there are new things. Platforms need to adjust their software as fast as possible. So it will help you to stay safe with your profiles. Because if LinkedIn changed something at night, in the morning, LinkedIn will already see that you do something strange, and they will be able to restrict you. This is often happens. So try to understand: is it platform really trustworthy? Are they able to adjust strategies? How many years they have been doing this? How they can, maybe even forecast those things and adjust things before something happens. And when we were agency, we actually switched from one also well-known platform to LinkedIn Helper, exactly because of restrictions, because as I understand, LinkedIn Helper works in a different way where you simulate mouse, keyboard, and those actions. So that's why we switched when we were an agency to LinkedIn Helper with our, I guess, 55 profiles we have for us.
Glad to hear that. Okay, so adaptability. Yeah, the tool must adapt to any updates pretty fast that LinkedIn has.
Yes, because there are a lot of new tools. And maybe some people who, I know a few people personally who said, oh, it's so easy to do. I can create, they are usually IT guys. And they say, oh, it's easy to automate, I will do it. And actually, it's very easy to build your first version, which can really do what you need. But when something changes, right, and LinkedIn adjusts the strategy and it doesn't work, and even worse, it shows LinkedIn every day that you're using automation, because LinkedIn will see strange requests, strange actions from your site.
Okay, so the safety, yeah. You can build a tool that will work, that will click on those buttons, but what about safety? That's another question here. Well, we talked today about how to avoid restrictions or how to reduce the chances of being restricted, but still you mentioned a lot. Even if you follow all the rules, all the recommendations, you can still face the verification process, or restriction. So I guess you still have some strategies, some ways how to recover accounts. So what should someone do immediately if they receive a LinkedIn's restriction or warning? So what's your take on this?
The best way is just to follow the recovering workflow. Based on the country, you have different vendors. For most countries, it's persona. You just need to scan your document, NFC chip, make selfie, something like this. So just do this process. And if you will not receive any reply or it will not be recovered, you can try to raise tickets on different platforms. So there are, you can find the email of LinkedIn support. You can mail them from email address of your profile. There are some forms you can fill in, even if you're logged out. So you can try to raise tickets in order to show that you need help. And LinkedIn will cancel those restrictions. Right now, we have about 80-85% success rate in verifications. So it means that 15-20% of the profiles we are not able to recover. First of all, due to permanent ban, because first of all, you receive temporary restriction, then you scan your documents, and then LinkedIn say that you will be banned forever. And also because some bugs, issues on verification side, because persona or other providers are providers of LinkedIn, then LinkedIn do not do it directly, and they can also have their own bugs, difficulties, and so on.
Well, you mentioned that sometimes you can go through this process not once, but twice or more times. Is there any difference in the number of verifications I pass here, or the process is still the same?
Process is always the same, but there is an opinion that if you recover your profile once, it's become more stable. In fact, we don't think that it becomes more stable. Even worse, in first weeks, I guess it's less stable, because LinkedIn recovered you and said, okay, I need to check this person because I lifted restrictions, so he's informed about it. And if you start 25 connections every day since the day one, it's very high chances that you will be restricted again. So after restriction, you need to follow, I would say, easy warmed up process. Maybe not as difficult as when you start from scratch, from 0 connections, but still you need to move slowly, I guess.
That was the question I wanted to ask. Yeah, so I need to adjust my outreach after recovering account, to some lower numbers of activity, of actions, maybe back to the beginning when I started warming up my account. Okay, yeah, I see. Thank you. I guess that's all the questions I wanted you to ask today. But before we wrap up, what's the number one piece of advice you'd give to anyone trying to scale their outreach without risking restrictions?
Maybe the best advice I can give is to understand LinkedIn's aims and try to follow them and help LinkedIn to achieve those aims. Because we are LinkedIn rental service. You from automation side, right? Maybe LinkedIn don't really like us, but and don't want to scale this type of companies. But if you will help LinkedIn, for example, in creating quality content, right? So if you use outreach, you outreach people on LinkedIn automatically. Okay, but try to create content. Because I guess LinkedIn definitely have KPIs, number of reach, impressions. They want to make this platform great again. To have this platform with a nice plot, with nice content, so people engage and so on. So try to help LinkedIn do it. If LinkedIn wants you to receive verification page, receive it, because LinkedIn even mentioned that they have a KPI in their investor document, in numbers of verified profiles with a verification page. So receive it, and LinkedIn will allow you to achieve your goals. Because you use LinkedIn resources, users, platform functionality. This helps us make money, help tools make money, help other vendors make money. So we need to respect LinkedIn and help them to achieve their goals.
Okay, so play by the rules, yeah? So you mentioned we kind of in the gray zone, but still we can work with admission tools, we can source additional accounts, but play by the rules on LinkedIn, be trustworthy, be real there. Don't send spam, as you mentioned, make some quality, make some good posts there. Yes, something that will show that you are a good user here, trustworthy user. Okay, yeah, that's a great insight. Thank you, Nick. Well, I guess that's it. This has been incredibly insightful. You've shared so many valuable tips on staying safe on LinkedIn while scaling. Thank you for breaking it all down for us.
Thank you too.
Okay, for everyone watching, if you find this helpful, please like this video. And if you have any questions, if you have still them and you want to know more, please drop a line in comments and we'll be sure to answer all of them. Nick, thanks again for joining us. It was great having you here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.